Is the real economic pain ahead of us? What's next? Two of the world's best-known economists say it's going to be a painful combination of high inflation and economic downturn that we call stagflation. We've already seen meaningful data suggesting that recession could be looming. Gross domestic product decreased by 1.4% in the first quarter of this year, and we know inflation continues to be a stubborn problem. Consumer prices remain at a 40-year high. Against this backdrop, noted economists Mohamed and Stephen Roach recently sounded the stagflation alarm. What is unavoidable is stagflation. We've seen growth coming down, and we're seeing inflation remaining high. Arian said that part of the blame for possible stagflation rests squarely on Jerome Powell and the Federal Reserve. This situation was avoidable had the Fed not stuck to its transitory inflation characteristic. He's referring to Chairman Powell's insistence for nearly all of last year that inflation was temporary and would subside on its own. Arian detailed how the stagflation risk put the Fed in a difficult position. It is the worst thing for central banks, he said, especially for the Fed, because stagflation puts the Fed's two objectives in conflict with each other. The two objectives he's referring to are price stability and maximum employment. The Federal Reserve has to walk a tightrope to achieve both in the middle of high inflation. This headline makes it clear. Stephen Roach calls stagflation his base case, warns market is unprepared for the consequences. In a recent interview with CNBC, Roach said, "This inflation problem is widespread. It's persistent and likely to be protracted." He sees inflation remaining above 5% for the rest of this year. Part of the reason for his outlook is Fed Chairman Powell's remarks that future rate hikes won't be any higher than 50 basis points. Even if he does 50 basis points at the next 5 FOMC meetings in 2022, the Fed funds rate ends the year 3.25%. Again, that's nearly 2 points below what I think the inflation rate will be. If this is true, interest rates will remain negative. GDP has declined. Inflation is high. Are we in the process of seeing stagflation? If the warning signs of recession or stagflation grow more prominent, we'll be here to make sure you know about it.
Hey guys, Joe Montana here with my man Devlin Steele. He and his team at Augusta Precious Metals are constantly putting out new information to keep you ahead of the game. Click subscribe now and hit the notification bell to stay up to date. You'll be glad you did.